the video starts, make sure you follow our socials in the description and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Welcome to the Offbeat podcast, back again this week, and I am joined by one of the biggest up-and-coming bands in Manchester. I'm going to big you up.
You don't need up-and-coming.
We're going to big you up. It is Rosellas, Drew and Euan. How are we, boys?
Hello. Yeah, good.
Good, mate. Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Mate, thank you very much for venturing our way, because you travelled a little bit all the way from... Are you both from Stockport area?
Well, yeah, I've driven from Congleton at the minute. I'm living down there. So yeah, it's been...
Set off about 3 hours ago.
Hey, it's a nice part of the world, Congleton.
Sat in the booth. Yeah, nice, alright.
Yeah, I mean, there's about 4 shops, but the 4 shops are good.
Hey, man, there's some decent boozers there.
Yankee.
It's nice. While it's been snowy, it's nice. I tell you that. I've just
you can't get anywhere.
Mate, I live on the A34. My whole fucking life is just A34 up and down. So that drive down after I've done with work and that's quite nice. Sun's going down, white fields, trees. I'm a countryman.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well,
say that, I live in Glossop and it's just literally a case of I have to add 15 minutes onto every journey.
Hey, it's Express.
It's a literal case of I have to add 15 minutes onto every journey just because it was
try half an hour in Congleton, man. It's just stupid.
It's a shit show.
Yeah. I'll be out there soon.
So, just sort of introduce yourself. You are sort of like a 5-piece band, aren't you? Hailing from, we'll say Greater Manchester, even though Congleton is kind of on the borders, but
it's not where I was born or I'm from, but it's where I'm living. Yeah, it's easier just to say we're from Manchester. But yeah, I'm Drew. I'm lead singer, guitar.
I'm Euan. Play the guitar. And nothing else.
And you get the crowd shouting your name.
I get the crowd shouting my name.
Just the shotgun sometimes.
I shoot people with my guitar.
You was straight away hit firing.
He's got the tambourine on some records.
Yeah, play the harmonica on a tune.
Yeah, he did actually play the harmonica on a tune.
Did you learn the harmonica for the tune?
I didn't learn it.
Couldn't play it.
I just blew it. And we like edited.
Mate, we were at his uni gaff in Sheffield, weren't we? It was like around that slow dance EP time.
Oh, yes.
And that whole thing was just recorded in his bedroom at that Sheffield gaff.
Really? Because slow dance is like... That's your biggest performing song on Spotify, isn't it?
Annoying.
Which is very irritating. Because
I like slow dance. Don't get me wrong. I can tell that it is early stages of the band, but the song for me feels raw. Oh, yeah, I like rawness in music.
Yeah, that's a good thing about it. Well, you produced it, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, well, this is what
he does everything.
This is what pisses me off about it because I produced that when I was 19. And I'm 25 and I'm such a better producer and there are better sounding records that I've made and the Rosellas songs are better. But still, people that discover us, they go on Spotify, like, oh, what's that? Slow dance. And it sounds nothing like us.
No, do you know what's cool about that song? Is we're, very, very proud of it. But
there's a reason why it's done well.
But he got picked up by some, like...
It was a YouTube channel.
YouTube, I thought.
Oh, was it? I thought it'd be a playlist.
No,
it was like a...
It's based in Korea, I think. Or somewhere in Far East Asia.
The title has been made already in the first 5 minutes. Massive in Korea.
Massive in Korea, yeah.
I know.
And it got picked up by some YouTube channel.
That's got 300,000 views on it, that video, and we've not seen a fucking penny from that.
Oh, disgusting.
Disgusting, isn't it?
If you're watching Korea.
It's terrible. I always comment every few months, disgusting.
Yeah,
disgraceful.
Making false accounts.
Yeah, but so that was cool. I remember when it first got picked up, it was like, it's got 3,000, it's got 10,000, it's got 20, fucking 100,000. It just went up and up and up and up and up. And it's like that. I get why it has done so well. I do get it because it's very easy on the ear, very commercial, very raw. It is, but lyrically it's very poor. I think, and
compared to what we
just doesn't sound like what we do now. And
it's got some nice guitar work in it.
It's got some brilliant
nice little stratty tone solo at the end.
Would you ever bring it back?
Nah.
Never. So say for example, if you did like a 10 years down the line, would you not bring it back as like a homage?
If we don't release another song until then yeah.
It's a time capsule, that EP now. Like it was, I think it came out something like 5 years ago at the start of December, didn't it? Yeah. I remember saying on the post that we did, the thing that we like about it is when we listen to it, it just reminds us of that, like me and him, the first few weeks of knowing each other, writing together.
It was quick.
In my mum's fucking living room, writing your gaff in Sheffield.
Writing it was quick.
And it reminds us of that era, so I wouldn't want to touch it because of that. Do you know what I mean?
So it's on that pedestal where you're kind of leaving it untouched.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that makes it sound better than it is.
Yeah.
It's more like, I don't think it's worth.
It's not good enough to be touched.
I know, it sounds like,
But it does. There's a lot of streams out there, and people still like it, because people still stream it to this day, so it's part of playlists. People do like it.
People at Academy too had it on their phone, like play slow dance, and I just seen
it
and was like,
nice. What's cool about that song? We never play it live.
Yeah.
So we've done like, I don't know how many fucking gigs we've done, but we never ever play that song live.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite cool about it. It kind of like isolates it on its own. Do you know
Well, a few bands are like that, like the old stuff, like the K's we talked about them before.
Yeah.
They've got Daxon, haven't they?
Yeah.
They don't like that song, and they don't play it at all. They played it like twice in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
There are some songs that are flipped like that for us as well. We have a tune called Time Machine that was one of the first ones that me and him sort of figured out together, and we knew that was good. So we've saved that this whole time because we're waiting until the recording does it justice, and maybe it fits on an album or an EP. But we play that live quite a lot, and people come to us and say like, "What's that tune? Where can I listen to it?" And I'm like, "Oh, you can't, mate."
You can wait and see.
Yeah.
But that it kind of it's two sides of the same coin, isn't it? Songs that people listen to at home but you never play, and then songs that you just play live that people can't listen to at home.
Yeah.
We're not really pleasing people there, are we?
It's boring though for us. That's the thing. Like,
You need to keep it interesting, because I watched an interview recently from the Snuts, and Jack says the same about Glasgow.
Yeah.
Hate it.
Yeah.
They despise that song,
Yeah.
because they obviously wrote it when they were like 17. Straight out of there, it's being proud of your hometown. It's a little bit raw as well.
Levels are different though, isn't it? Like,
And I know, but it's the same principle,
you
isn't
have
it?
to agree, but yeah, it's different. It's like I mean, not enough people have, got behind that song for us to think it's worth doing.
Yeah.
I'm talking about slow dance.
So what's the target? Say, because people are going to be wanting to listen to slow dancing sets.
Yeah, really.
So what is the target? Are you talking 500,000 and you'd consider it?
In money, then yeah.
I'm talking about streams.
It's never going to get touched again, man. It's a beautiful little time capsule of what we were at the start. And back then, me and Euan were listening to, a lot of Smiths, like Arctic Monkeys B-sides, like that weird kind of sounding stuff. And since then, but you know what I mean? Since then, our writing relationship has developed way beyond that. Do you know what I mean? We both listen to a plethora of different artists now that comes through in our songwriting, whereas back then, it was kind of like we found that common ground of an artist that we liked, a sound that we liked, and we honed in on that, and that was slow dance.
Yeah.
So
it was the start of your journey, really.
It was.
It was the start of your journey.
And it should have stayed at the start and had 10 streams.
Yeah, I'm immensely proud of it, but I find it off that it's a top stream song. It really does. Because I just think, like, listen to the rest of it.
What's your... So, because obviously both of you are songwriters as well as playing in the band, what would you say is your favourite song that you've written then?
Probably be a different answer, won't it?
Yeah, probably.
If you're both using one song that you both wrote in, me like,
I think one of my favourite songs of ours is Any Wonder.
Okay.
That began
Do you know what was funny? I was going to say that.
That began as is, but the way a lot of our songs sort of start is, a song might be 90% is and 10% mine, or 80% mine, 20% is, but we always just say to each other that it's just 50-50. But when you're in a songwriting partnership, it's all about both of you have had your say on it. It is our songs. We don't see them as his songs, my songs.
Yeah.
We just see them as the material that the band owns and the band has produced.
Because he progresses, doesn't he? He always evolves.
Even though sometimes Luis has been involved in bits of writing, sometimes it's been just me, sometimes it's been just him. But yeah, I'd say Is It Any Wonder? If it was one that had started as sort of my idea, I like Feels Like Yesterday.
Okay.
I like the tonality of it. But it fucking changes a lot, doesn't it, man?
Is It Any Wonder is up there for me. Just for the like you said, that is the one that feels like everybody wrote it, kind of thing.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
And
because we took that into the rehearsal room and Mark played the drums on it. Ollie made his bass.
Yeah,
and Luis had that da-na-na-na, and we kind of knew within 10 minutes.
And it was like, can you do
it? Clicks, doesn't it, sometimes, when everyone gets on board. Because I bet you go through a lot of ideas that just start off and then you try and bring him in and
that's
then
it.
go. Yeah.
Maybe we'll come back to that one. Yeah. It's funny because you never know what's going to work. You never know if. So Is It Any Wonder? What was brilliant about that was everybody wrote their own little part.
Okay.
And that sound, it sounds quite obvious, but okay, everybody changed their part. So if I thought of these little chords, I'd say, I can hear the drums like this, and Mark, the drummer, will go, well, I think they go like this. Oh, that's better. Yeah, we'll use that. And it was like that with everyone. So by the end, it was like. I think it was completely different.
The first thing that I put on that song was like,
like the violin, play the guitar, the violin. Yeah,
I'm a big fan of the Verve, and Nick McCabe as a guitar player.
Yeah.
I absolutely love all that atmospheric, big delay tails and reverbs and all that. The same with like Gilmour and Knopfler and that. And because that song had started as is and the chord progression was just put in front of me, I wasn't constrained with anything. I was just like, I'm going to get my volume pedal and try that. And it was the first thing I tried.
Yeah, it works, yeah.
And bang.
It worked straight away.
Whereas if I'd written a song, I'm going to sit there and obsess for fucking hours over, like, can I play that bit of the riff? Can I play that bit?
No. Don't play that. But again, because when we first took that one, I didn't really see anything in it. I was like, I like the sound of the chords, whatever. Whereas if I'd had written it as it is without, everybody's parts, and I thought, well, this is what I want it to be, it probably would have been a bit more like, don't play it like this, do this kind of thing. But I wasn't that bothered. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't that like, I didn't see anything in it. And then once I heard everybody playing, it was like, oh, actually, I get it. Yeah. And that was the one that we did at Apollo, which was very special, I was like really proud to have done that song there with the however many piece orchestra of like, and that when we were doing that, I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even after all that time, I was like, I understand now what it is about this song that's, I don't say special, but the good thing. The good thing.
Trying to think hard on
what about this song? It's the best song ever written. No, you know what I mean? Like what it was that was like, oh, I get it now. I understand.
It
now.
means the most to you.
Yeah,
do you think like the Apollo gig? Because obviously we'll allude to the Apollo gig. That was the huge charity gig you did recently as well. Do you think that's sort of like?
A year ago.
We'll still class it recently.
Okay.
But it was. Do you reckon that's probably the highest point of sort of like your career so far? Because that is the biggest venue you played, especially in Manchester.
No, I don't think it is, but I see where you're coming from.
It's a special moment because you were on a huge bill there,
Yeah.
and it was a big night for music.
Yeah.
I don't think it was. Yeah.
I think what it did for me is it just reaffirmed in my head that it was where we're meant to be.
Okay,
I
like that.
Well,
it's a good answer, isn't it?
The moment we fucking walked in the doors there, like not once did
you didn't get
personally
imposter
feel
syndrome at
outplaced,
all.
No, none of us did. You know what I mean? We felt, and that whole gig, it was quite rushed. It was a bit chaotic. We didn't rehearse with the orchestra. Luis scored all the music, and it was just like, right, here's the music, sight read it. None of us really knew what was going to happen. And you look out, you see all them faces. You know that James are finishing the gig and all that. Like you're backstage, and there's these faces of people that I'm seeing fucking David Bowie on a poster, Richard Ashcroft on a poster. They've stood where I'm going to be stood in 20 minutes time. And on the days leading up to it, I was thinking, like, fucking, how are you going to react to this? And I just felt fine. I felt comfortable. And after it, I actually thought, like, fucking hell, that should be our headline.
It's a sink or swim, isn't it? That sort of scenario. Because I've interviewed a lot of boxers. And the thing that I love about boxers is it's a totally unique mindset to me. Like, for me, I am a bit of a worrier. Bit of an anxious guy sometimes. Like, if something's happening in the future, I'm always thinking about it. I'm always thinking, what am I going to do in this scenario? And in music and in sort of like sports scenarios, you get there, you either shit yourself or you do well.
No.
There's no in between really, and it just helps you sort of move to that next level, I suppose.
Yeah, it was weird. That gig was weird because, I didn't really think anything of it. So I remember we played on the Tuesday night. It was midweek, and Monday night we did sound check or something, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we went on this Monday, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I'm in work, night in the morning. So after work I was like, I'm sound checking it, thingy tonight. And it was like, all right. And I went, and obviously it was empty. And you don't really get a scale of how big the venue is. I've been there before myself.
Yeah, for an actual gig.
You don't really feel it. And I remember I was playing footy Monday night, so I was like, going, can we go? Right, we've done this, can we go? So we went off, and then Tuesday was like, I was in work all day, and I'll get the train to town, whatever. We got there, and it was me and Ollie, and James was sound checking.
Yes.
And we watched it, and that was the first sound I was like, I don't know.
This is pretty crazy, isn't it?
Proper. So, I do really like James, but I wasn't as bothered as I am now before that. And we seen them sound checking, and I was like, these are good. See, like proper.
Professional,
that's what it is.
Yes.
Like they all knew what they were doing, and they were all like brilliant. Anyway, so we went on, and even before we were going on, like I wasn't like, we don't really think about it, and we walked on, and I was You know, like,
What am I doing here?
started laughing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we're playing.
There was a lot of laughing to ourselves.
So we've
wasn't
got
there?
like a video we filmed. Is it any wonder?
Yeah.
Well, Charlie filmed everything.
Yeah, he did all the
I'm just really
videography.
laughing because I'm like, as if like you got this 40-odd piece orchestra.
Like it was a case of we could finish tomorrow and I'm happy.
Yeah,
I played the
no, it
Apollo.
was. It was just weird because in my head I was like, it's just another gig. But then we walked on, and like you know, like 3,500 people. But I wasn't going, oh good.
It made us want more. Do you know what I mean? It was like the spark was already fueled in our heads. We already had the drive and the determination, but you experience something like that and you play with a, whatever it was, 30-piece orchestra behind you. You hear your songs get breathed that amount of life into them, and then you get a good reception and you know you've played well. You come off there feeling fucking untouchable, man.
Of course, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it sort of, like I said before, it just reaffirmed that, like, right, we're on the right path here. This is what we need to be doing. This should be our fucking headline, but we're impatient, you know. Got to give it a couple of years and build up.
I mean, speaking about your headline, you've just come off your biggest ever headline gig, hometown show, my Academy 2, sold out as well.
Respect.
What was it like going from? Because obviously you supported the Stanleys there within the last 12 months.
It was almost like a year to the day. Kind of
It
thing,
was like November, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then you came back and you sold it out yourself.
Yeah.
Like, what was that moment like when you first booked it in? Were you a bit like, oh shit? Like,
Nah.
I knew it was going to happen.
It sounds a bit like. Here he is. It wasn't. It felt like the obvious thing to do because we'd done Academy 2, we'd done Band on the Wall.
The next ladder, isn't it? The next rung on the ladder. Man.
So we'd done Academy 2, we'd done Band on the Wall. So it was like, well, that's going to have to be the next one. And we did that gig with Stanley's. You're right. End of November.
Yeah.
You were there. Reviewed it.
I was there.
Good lad.
Good gig. Really enjoyed
you said
it.
we were shit, which we'll brush it.
You can go back and listen to the review on
you
the
said
channel.
We were all right. You said we were all right. But like it felt like the obvious thing to do. And we
imagine if I'd have brushed over in that review. I came to see you because I didn't really know the Stanleys before that gig. And imagine I just brushed over and just went, right, the Stanleys were there. You'd have been like, fuck's sake.
I would have been like, fair enough. But we did that gig. And I remember that gig really well because, I mean, it was good and it felt like our gig.
We had a lot of people there that had bought tickets to see us, which was a good feeling in itself.
But after, it was like... So sometimes when you're supporting another band, the gigs can turn halfway through. So it feels like your gig. Then we came back in, and it was like a completely different thing. Whereas when other times when you're supporting people and you come back into the gig after, it's always like, oh my God, you're all right, you're right. But that didn't happen in that gig.
Yeah.
So I was a bit like, oh, well, we're not at that level yet.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
And they were good Stanleys. That's the first time I'd seen them.
They were good.
Really.
They're dead nice lads as well, and we like what they have going on with their sound. Because it doesn't sound like every other indie rock garage band out there.
No, they are cool. They're good sounding.
Especially being from Wigan as well.
Have you had them on here?
No, I'm not. I've met Tom. I met Tom at Real Madrid away.
Yeah,
he's a blue.
Oh, he's a City fan, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a blue. I saw it at Real Madrid away, and I was looking over at him, and I was like,
excuse me, do you know Rosellas?
I was looking over him, and I was like, that's Tom from Stanley.
Why did you look at me when you said he was a blue? You know I'm a red.
Yeah, that's why I said it. It's supposed Hull. Where am I going to find common ground there?
That's right, we're going up.
Oh no.
And then I had to go over and I was like, sorry, this might sound a bit weird if I'm completely wrong. Are you Tom from Stanley?
Yeah.
I was like, your gig, it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, I was talking to him because I interviewed Shade a couple of weeks before I went over there.
Oh, they played as well,
I was chatting to him about all that, and he was a really, really nice fella.
No, they're all like
I could tell he was humble though, because the first time I went over, I went, oh yeah, are you Tom from Stanley? And all of his mates went, and I was like, all right, here we go. He's getting bullied for the next 24 hours for this.
Yeah.
Nah, he'll be loving that.
He would have been loving that.
Yeah, there are a few. There's a select group of bands that we've gigged with who we have all agreed that we've really enjoyed sharing the stage with them and talking to them about their sound and just watching them. And everyone that we've ever supported, we've learned something from. Every single band. And I think you've got to be like that. You've got to be a bit of a sponge. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to be telling people about it. You can just, you know, silently fucking get these little things that you're seeing about the way people hold themselves, the way they conduct themselves in the tunes, the way their tunes are structured, the text that they have, the way, you know, just the whole way the gig works. And it's more interesting for me when it's a band whose sound I like and I identify with and I haven't heard before, because there are a lot of fucking bands out there, man, that sound the exact same.
Carbon copies,
Do you know what I mean? I could list 50 of them, man, and I'm not going to dig anyone out, but a lot of music bores the fuck out of me, man. It really does. And there are people that we've supported where I've actually kind of gone, that was ace. Yeah. Really, really enjoyed that.
I want to talk to you about your supports as well, because what I liked about your gig is you went very different to you. So you had the Juice, didn't you? Then you had Marseille.
Yep.
And was there a reason for having such a variety style? Because obviously, if you don't know about Marseille, they're young lads band. They're great, and they have a very like sort of 60s, 70s sort of style, really. A little bit of like old. But bear in mind, they're like old heads on young shoulders.
Well,
and then the Juice, so I know the Juice lads quite well now. They're great lads. They're really high energy, very likeable, big on stage. So was that the reason why you went for them two? Just because they were both very opposite to you?
Not necessarily. It's a funny thing with the supports, because I've said this before. He's like, you want to make the night interesting.
Yeah, you have to.
Right?
Yeah.
So we've done gigs where we've been the support and we've been better than the you know, we've had more people come and see us and then everybody leaves and you've got the main headline act on, it empties, and it's a weird dynamic. And I was very keen, or we were very keen, to have the whole night be really interesting. So like we did with Band on the Wall, where we had Lizzie Taylor and Sheraton's on.
Yes.
Like, quite different, but the same, you know, kind of realm as us.
The Sheratons actually I followed them because I went and saw them support the K's in Leeds last year, and they followed me back, and I've just not got around to it mainly because
we trust him. So
what he's the done a solo thing now, and we can't remember if he
made us all follow him, but no, like Kane Bullyman, he's a good lad. He's got his head screwed on, like he just wants to do music, and he repped our gig before, and I knew who he was. And we kind of approached him for the idea of a gig swap, but we wouldn't have done that if we thought they were rubbish. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is some. They are. I know they are different to us, but they are. Like, it is good.
Yeah. The way it works with Band on the Wall and Academy too, as well, is that like with Lizzie Taylor, me and Ollie went to see her play at Deaf Institute in Manchester.
Nice. Yeah.
And we go out and watch a lot of bands just to sort of see what's going, doing a bit of reconnaissance. Do you know what I mean? See what's going on, who's worth what.
Yeah.
And we got chatting to her and sort of had her on the gig off the back of that. We already knew who the Sheratons were, and like you and said, you know, the gig swap type of thing. But I did the same with Marseille.
Yeah.
I went to watch them at their
Deaf
Institute.
Marseille support. So we went on tour in March,
and they supported us.
And they supported us for a couple of dates.
Yeah.
Which we were very keen to do because, like we said, we'd seen them before. So I think they played in Newcastle and I can't remember. Birmingham, was it Birmingham?
Birmingham was Lizzie Taylor.
Somewhere else. It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
And we were like, they're good. Their lead singer is quality, and the whole band's quality, and they're so tight and they're so young that, you know, I see a lot of what we were like at 18, 19 in that.
What I like about them as well is they're not afraid to do a lot of instrumentals. Like they had one of their tunes. Remember the last tune when they supported us?
Just went on for
and the singer just fucked off, and I was in the dressing room, and he just came in like, all right. And I was like,
you're still playing it, lads.
And the guitarist, man, like, there's two of them, both of them are shit hot, and they were just there riffing.
We know he's fun of a guitarist.
I Am the Resurrection kind of stuff. You know what I mean? They're not scared to just do musical things.
It's Squire-esque, innit? You
doesn't
can
have
tell
to be.
It's Squire influence.
It doesn't have to be this formulaic 3-minute indie song set like bang, 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 bang. You can tell they're thinking about what they're doing. And that's, I admire that. I do admire that.
Well, that's, you know, like, I thought they were cool, so we tried to get them on, and they were obviously dead up for it.
Yeah.
He's a Derby County fan, singer.
Big Dar. I was good.
Who said if maybe got in the next round?
I hope he actually want to go there. That's where I want to go, because it's only like an hour and a half from me.
I've been a few times.
Yeah, it's not far from me at all. But I really like them. Because I took my mate, Jared. So Jared, he'd listened to
Jared
you.
Bowie.
I wish. I wish. Yeah. He's shagging Danny Dyer as well. Fantastic. So I took my mate Jared, who I go to all the gigs with, and I had a little chat with him after Marseille were on, and I was like, what have you thought of the last? Because he'd never heard of the other two bands.
Yeah.
And he was just like, they sound like someone I would walk into my mum's front room and then they would be on.
Yeah.
And I heard it and I was like, I get it.
Very reminiscent of that.
Yeah, it's quite. It's an older sound, and I thought they were brilliant.
Yeah, they
and Ben Ram is so young as well.
They're so young, and like, you know, we're not like fucking charity work or anything like that. But I think the fact that they're so young, like, we kind of want to help them, and like, we're not big. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not doing that well. But I remember what we were like at sort of 18, 19. And any sniff of any good gig you get, you take it.
Yeah.
So we're lucky, you know, in the fact that we can headline Academy 2, and if we can help a band like that reach an audience that I think they deserve, you know, we will do it. And yeah, you know, it goes back to what we've said before of like, we pick the support of who we like.
We're aware that there's going to be a point in our sort of like musical career whereby the control that you have over those different elements drastically reduces.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? And
that's just music.
And the more business-minded it gets and the more money gets involved. And that's okay, you know, if that's the way the industry works, that's the way it works. But we've always said to each other, while we have the power, let's be as much of a supportive band for other people in and around our circuit.
That's what I like. That's why I love doing this, because I was telling you before starting filming, I love it when a band recommends a band to me.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, All Right. Did you know All Right? The lads from Blackpool.
Yeah.
I got recommended All Right.
We've played for him before.
Have we played with him?
Was it All Right?
Yeah. Bootleg Social.
Right.
There's a couple
that
bands.
That might have been Hugh and the Greater Good, actually.
No, they were on after us.
Were they on after you?
Right.
But I love All Right.
Yeah.
Mainly because...
So
it's Joe, the lead singer Joe Downell. He's just a PE teacher from around here. Like, he literally...
Respect.
Who's that?
It's brilliant, because so I got recommended All Right by about 3 different bands. So I had like Spangled, Shade and someone else on, and every single one of them went, you need to get Joe on from All Right.
Yeah.
He's such a good fella. And as soon as I met him, I was like, I now understand why everyone want you to support for him. Because first of all, they're very different. He doesn't play an instrument, which I love.
As a front man.
And he's very much like... He's like when you shake a bee up in a jar.
Yeah.
And he just gets going. Because I went and watched him, because afterwards, he said to me, we're at H&B next week, doing like an open, like just one of them live sets.
Yeah.
So I was like, I've got to go. So I took my missus, I was like, just come with me.
Please.
And she was like, don't get me wrong, because she's very musical nerd. She's like grade 8 in like violin and stuff. She did
Respect.
music. She did music at uni.
For that.
And she was like, musically, they weren't the best, but she enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was like, she got it, and I was like,
energy, then,
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot. We were saying that before, innit, off camera, that a lot of bands can utilise that kind of energy factor to enhance their performances. You know, but we've never tried to do that because I don't think we need to. Because we
I don't know how to. I think that's probably the biggest thing.
It would be weird, wouldn't it?
I'm a fucking musician.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the bands that we've both sort of idolised and kind of included in our songwriting relationship, and the band as a whole, just the bands that we're into, they've always let the music do the talking.
Yeah.
You know, a big one is The War on Drugs. Absolutely phenomenal band. The music is just faultless, in my opinion. They are just absolutely fantastic.
No, I am. I'm going to be honest here.
I'm going to shoot them down after I've said all that, innit?
No, I'm not going to shoot them down. But I am quite a. I like shit music.
All right.
I'm happy to listen to a 4-chord song. But I'm very big on. I like to see a band live and see how they perform. That's what I'm like. And I am a case of like for example, a lot of shit like Ratings. A lot of people slag Ratings off, and I get why, because they're very similar to Arctic Monkeys. They're basically carbon copy.
Yeah.
I understand why you hate them, but I like them because they bring energy to me, and it's a case of like, I feel something listening to their music. Like I get what they're doing, and I feel like there's a place for them.
Yeah, of course.
And it's a simple case. Like it's like a lot of people like slag music off to me, and I'm like, that's fine.
That's wrong though. You don't.
Yeah,
that's high horse.
I get why you have an opinion. I get why you don't like it. It makes sense to me. I understand it, but it's the way I see music. I like to see. I like to go to a gig and I like to think, this is good. This, put a bit of a toe tapper.
Yeah,
that's it.
So I will bring on to this in part 2. So we'll have a little break here, but I want to bring on to we have got a few questions about how you sort of do your covers online, and I want to start off on that because I think that'll be interesting to find out how you sort of position your covers moving forward.
Okay.
So we're back in part 2.
So yeah, good. You carry on with it.
Part 2, and we are back. I'm going to bring you back in on. Yeah, you
No,
can go.
don't worry.
We were just talking about Hull City's recent demise.
Nobody mentioned that. Actually.
Yeah. No one did apart from.
We're going down. What's the date today? The date. What is it?
I've been here 2 weeks.
January.
Yeah.
It's January. Hull City will go down this season. Get money on it.
Oh, it's so sad. Bear in mind, you had probably one of the best Champions Squads ever last year. And
we did. No, we'll go down again next season. That's an even better bet.
Oh, brilliant. Going to League 2.
Yeah.
Hey, there's some good teams in League 2.
Doncaster.
You could go to
they're a tough team to play, Doncaster.
You could go to it's Forest Green and get promoted. You could go Forest Green away, which is not even a place.
They're a vegan club.
Yeah, they're brilliant. And they're just in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, vegan. For a bit of that.
Yeah. Go play Oldham.
If they go up, we will. Well, this is really boring for everyone else, but we won League One. We won League One in the COVID year, so I feel robbed. Like we won the league at Crewe away, and we couldn't go. Yeah, exactly.
So it's like the one that didn't matter. Like
Liverpool
won the league, it just doesn't matter.
It's irrelevant. So I don't think we've won anything, but obviously, we've won League One. But
Big Dean Windass, heading it in.
Volleyed it in.
Oh wait, I can't remember. It was Championship player final, wasn't it? I remember Dean Windass.
See it into my memory. That volley, what a goal!
Great sport.
Go on YouTube, type in Dean Windass goal at Wembley. What a goal! You won't see a better goal than that. You do it as well. Educate yourself.
Can't wait, man. Can you see how just invigorating this is?
I love as well. We've done a lot. This is one of the highest talking off pod. Which is great because we've covered.
Well, let me just leave it there. Then
we've covered everything, and I wish we did record some of it.
Yeah.
Especially with the sudden burst into song from me and you from the Lion King.
Oh, absolutely. Man, he lives in you.
I was in tears.
I know you were.
Sensational.
Yeah.
Speaking a bit of being in tears at gigs,
well played, mate. Well played.
We did get asked one of the questions. We touched on your favourite sort of songs that you've ever written, but playing them live is a different journey to writing them in the studio and playing them in the studio. So, and obviously with your sets, you very much plan it meticulously. You're always, we're going to interlude into here. Yeah. Everything's there for a reason. Mm-hmm. So what are the songs that you look forward to playing to the live, or the ones that you're like, that's the best of the set here?
I've got a good answer to this, so you go first.
Oh, go ahead, man.
No, go on.
Go ahead.
Because otherwise it's just me fucking talking.
I think mine, since it's been written and since it's been put in the set, I like playing the same curse live. Mm-hmm. I like the driving.
You like to promo that as well, which I like. You're very good at promoing it.
I like the driving rhythm of it. I like the guitar song. I just like the energy of it all the way through. I like what it's written about. I like the melody in it. It's comfortably in my range. It's just one of them that, like, you know, you can just, whenever I'm singing it, I feel like I can grab it by the balls and really go for it.
Where do you think the same curse fits in your set then? Because I've seen you play it twice in different places.
It's different, man.
Yeah.
I think it's a very different song. It's not. It doesn't have a set place.
No,
it's a song that's good enough to be at the start of a gig or the end of a gig or in the middle of a gig. Do you know what I mean? And I think that once it reaches the ears of the hundreds of thousands or the millions, rather than the ears of the thousands,
the fives,
the twos, the mum, the auntie. I think that when more people catch on to it and that song catches fire and we start to get more back from the crowd with it, because we're seeing glimpses of it at the minute, but you know, it's only got like 20,000 streams on Spotify. It's not a big song by any fucking measure. It's got the quality to be, though. And I think when people start knowing the words and they start bouncing about, that for me will just go. So I'm looking forward to that moment. Go on, I'm on the edge of my seat for this answer.
So this is a good one. So the song I used to love playing and really look forward to, we used to do a great cover of True Faith.
Nice.
I used to love doing that.
Good shout. Forgot about that.
Oh, we played that song for
Road.
a year. We just fit it in. Because we love New Order, we love that song, and I remember I used to have my set list written in front of me. I always just see it and think, I used to love it,
yeah.
Because it always went off. Well, it don't matter where we were. I know it's not our song, but we used to play it everywhere. You know, and I was...
Some things become synonymous with bands, though, don't they? Like covers,
They can do.
become like for example, the best protocol is probably Cortinas and the covers that they've done over the years, and they've just become like their songs, haven't they?
Well, Oasis used to do Beatles, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm the Walrus. Yeah.
But well, there you go. But I used to love that song because I you'd know that. Say you'd be playing a gig and it might not be going too well. I'd see that and think,
got your ace card.
Yeah.
Well,
that's exactly
what of
it is,
our ones is your favourite to play? Original tunes.
Born Under or Common Ground, I think.
Yeah.
I really like Common Ground.
Yeah.
I think that and Switch Off for me are your two, like my favourite songs are yours. I really like Switch Off.
Yeah.
Fair play.
I just think it's such
dark, man.
It's just an easy.
It's got a mood to it.
But it's easy listening, and I just.
You think it's easy listening?
Yeah, I really like it. It's very much like I would class it as if I'm in the car, I'm driving somewhere, I'll have it on and I'll be singing without me knowing it's on.
That
Do you know what I mean?
In between EP has got a bit of a you want to be listening to that late at night driving kind of vibe. You know, steaming it on the motorway in your little Vauxhall Corsa. That's me listening to mixes of Come Alive. That's a good one to play live. Come Alive as well. I like that. I like how heavy that hits.
Yeah, it's good for us to play. I'm thinking like what comes back.
Well, you do with that a lot. A lot for you is the reception that you kind of get off the crowd.
Yeah, of course it is. Well, it has to be what it is. Like,
it can be. It can be.
For me, it's what comes back, and Switch Off comes back.
Yeah.
Come Alive doesn't really come back, and you know a lot of it's like we spoke about for the Academy gig, it bounces back, and you notice the Switch Off. You know that he's going, and True Faith comes back, always comes back.
Switch Off is one that we always position in there to bring it, like we did it out of the string section.
Yes,
which
was big, because I wanted to touch on that because there's not many bands that would bring on a string section into your gig.
No, well,
because we got the balls to do it, man.
It was good.
And the musical prowess.
It was four.
Yes,
you had a 4-piece, didn't you?
4-piece. Yeah. I couldn't tell you what they played. Tell you the names, but I don't know what they played. It was.
How level were you?
Viola, violin.
Oh, I thought you meant the songs that they played. I was
I
thought you had 2 violins, a viola, and a cello. Didn't you?
I think that was it.
Tony's a music.
There we go.
She's a music.
No, when I say what they played, I mean.
It's because I remember you had a first and a second violin, and I was saying to Jared, I was like, I'm going to tell you facts here. She's better than her because she's a first.
You've told me.
I was like, the one who sits on the left is the better one.
Is that right?
Because he goes first, second, third. You can even fourth if you want to do it.
Clued up, innit?
Well, it's just because of Tony. Because she's played the violin and she's told me like they're better than them. And I'm like, how do you know? And she's like, she's sat there.
Well, it has always been a thing for us. Like when we even headlined Gulliver's way back when, one of the girls that played at Academy 2 in that quartet, she's called Eleanor, she played with us at that gig. And we've done it a few times, and the reason why I say it takes balls is because it's got to be done justice. Do you know what I mean? That you can't just bring them up and have them play whatever and think like, oh yeah, that was
otherwise
cool.
it can come across as a gimmick. Can't it?
Well, that's what I was very worried about.
We did meticulously plan and rehearse that to the nines. Do you know what I mean? And Luis scored the whole thing that they were playing.
He did.
It was.
Oh really? Does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
he wrote the whole thing for him.
Apollo gig that we spoke about before. We played Is It Any Wonder, and Luis scored that whole thing.
Nice.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But, like different level kind of thing. Like.
And we've got to be able to utilise someone that's got that ability. Do you
of
know
course,
what I mean?
yeah.
That's got to be recognised and definitely put in our arsenal. And we knew that as soon as we started practising them songs with those 4, because the records that we played sort of had strings on anyway. Well, actually, even for Chicago, didn't.
No, it didn't.
So in the rehearsal room, we were sort of thinking, like, is this going to work? Is it not? But it ended up working.
I knew it was going to work.
We knew.
Yeah, of course. I fucking
But it does. It takes courage to be able to do something like that as a band at our level.
Yeah, it is part of it's courage, but part of it's like
mainly because like people don't know this, but it's a fucking expensive thing to do to get a string quartet. Like it's a bold, it's a bold,
we know that.
move. Like that is a big
felt
move.
that.
Yeah, but it was okay. So
And if you don't work, that's a lot of money gone.
So when we played Band on the Wall, we had Kate on.
Yeah, we had Kate Curriel playing.
He's an unbelievable musician in her own right.
She plays in Seb Lowe's band.
She plays,
nice,
she's
yeah.
playing Seb Lowe's band, and she's fantastic. And we had the idea to do maybe 1 or 2 songs of her, just to make it more interesting for us and for people who are watching.
Yeah.
Right, and it was like, oh, you might as well do this. You might as well do this. You might as well. So anyway, she ended up playing.
About 4 again, wasn't it?
Yeah, but in my opinion, songs that she didn't need to be on. So then I remember we went to see Noel Gallagher at Peace Hall in Halifax, and we were on the way back, and I remember thinking, I want to do that again, but it has to be direct, and it has to be kind of, I don't know what the word is, but
more intentional.
Intentional. And I'm not saying what Kate was playing wasn't, but from our point of view, we kind of like shoehorned her in a little bit, and it went off. Like, she was fantastic. So what she played was brilliant, but we were thinking like, can we make
fit with you as
well,
best
not
as you
even
could
necessarily that, but it was like
we ended up putting her on a tune called Bay Soul, which is off the Somewhere in Between EP, which in the recording does have like a little bit of mellotron synthy strings in the verse.
But from live, it didn't. It doesn't.
Yeah, and I think we got caught up in the idea of let's get her to do this, get her to do that, get her to do that, and we kind of learnt from that and learned that this time with the string quartet, like, right, let's make sure that they are adding something to the song that it's necessary.
And it was so. What was in my mind was, if we don't play these songs, if we play these songs without them in it,
are they as good?
Are these good? And no, with all of them were no. It won't work without them in it. So the songs that we played with them, we played Is It Any Wonder, which obviously we did at Apollo. We did Leaving Chicago, which is the B-side to that.
Time Machine,
which
Banger.
Wouldn't exist without that violin part on it.
Yeah, it's a big part.
And we did Bonification by James, which we were very keen to do a cover.
I loved playing that at Academy, man.
But what was cool about that one was it was like, they can play something that we can't.
So that
it's a different layer.
Yeah, Born of Frustration has got loads of trumpets in it and all that. And we just said to Luis, like, just score that with all the strings. And I was playing a 12-string guitar as well, and just fucking put my big muff on my blues driver, just turned the gain up full, and was just like up there. It was like a fucking Spinal Tap moment for me.
Just having a great hit.
I was having a fucking in my monitors. All I was hearing was pure distortion, man. It's fucking mint. But listening back to the videos of it and all that, it just worked. Do you know what I mean? And going back to what you were saying before about the fact that it was a cost, like, we were absolutely happy for that gig. We used our own techs, we used our own front of house engineer, our own lighting engineer, a girl, Amy, doing the visuals, and we hired in the projector screen at the back, the string quartet. The amount of money us 5 as individuals spent of our own money on that gig means that we make hardly anything, if anything, back off it.
Yeah.
But we're happy to do that because it makes it more of a spectacle. Do you know what I mean? We want people to talk to each other about Rosellas gigs and say, when you go and see Rosellas, it's a fucking show, man. They've got visuals going on, they've got strings.
It's what I say about Kasabian. You have to go and see them because they are... Like, you could listen to Kasabian on a vinyl, and you'll see them live, and it'll be it's like 2 different bands.
When they play Underdog live and they break down a little bit and surge, just like they get low and all that.
It's so good.
Because I remember saying to you in the rehearsal room that in Common Ground, when we played at Academy 2, we stretched out that middle bit massively, and it came from me watching Kasabian.
Really? LSF's brilliant
and I was
as well.
saying
LSF's probably one of the best songs I've ever seen live.
The funny thing is, when that band will have all meticulously planned out, because they'll all be on click in their ears, they'll all know exactly how many bars that is that they're breaking down, and then it will go up and they wait. But when you're watching it as a punter, it's just a jam. Do you know what I mean? You're just seeing everyone in this zone.
It's like an old school blues jam.
Yeah, and it differentiates you from the band. I have been to see great bands, but they just get up and they just do tune off, tune off, tune off. I was brought up on like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Flea and John Frusciante, just there jamming for ages before the song, jamming after the song. It makes it a show.
Makes it a set.
Yes.
Yeah. But the most important thing for me is it's more interesting for us, I think. And
yeah.
I think if we're like we've done a lot of gigs, and a lot of gigs where I've been like, this is fucking boring. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like when you're doing something that's interesting and to us, it's bound to be interesting for other people.
Yeah.
And like with that gig in particular, the breakdowns and the links that you mentioned before, and the sort of the tying all the songs together, made it interesting for me, as it did for you, and it did for everybody who's playing, because you're not massively comfortable with where you're going, and
it's always a little bit.
Yeah, so that gig that we did was the only gig of that sort of start to the finish that we did, which makes it like a kind of one-off for everybody who's there.
Yeah, because we weren't on tour around the time of that academy.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It was
so
just
it's one of them things where I always buzz off them, because you have to be on it. Do you know what I mean? You can't be having fucking 10 pints before and you go and right, where am I? You have to focus when you're playing.
Yeah.
And I always find with them gigs you get more back because they go better, or they get received better than your average gig would.
Yeah. Is that why you do a lot of covers on social media then? Because you do a lot of covers. Like you do a lot of covers on Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah.
Is it to keep you on your toes so you can learn new songs, you're learning new stuff?
Do you know what it is, right? And I'll tell you this now. It's because we love doing them. And
so a simple case of it's just
we enjoy them, and I remember we used to do. If you type in like Rosellas, whatever, I'd give you them.
You'll go
song.
right back on YouTube to The Great Escape.
It's a Great Escape by Laughing. So we did Underneath the Sky, and we did all these like 18,
do you know what I thought? It was also an emo song called Great Escape, and I was like, what have I missed this?
I've my head down here.
It's a proper American mid-noughties. Where are we?
No, but it's like we just.
I'm going to send you the song and you. I'm going to hear you sing it.
We do enjoy doing them, but also as well, we like the way that we've got it set up at the minute with a lot of our covers that come up on Twitter. They all look the same, and we multi-track record it.
Your studio looks great.
We do it in a way where
it's cool. Like, well, you've been there, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've been there.
It's
so
great, your studio.
The quality of the audio is always good because we close mic everything, and Luis mixes them, and I do some little bits here and there, because we're a band where we've got the musical ability to learn the covers and make them sound a little bit different, and sort of, I'm not saying we made Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish sound like a fucking Rosellas song, but we played it on an acoustic guitar. So for one, it sounds a little bit different. But two, because we've got mine and Luis's production ability, we can make it sound good. And because you and Ollie and that... Because you and Ollie and that have all got a knack about how we want it to look. We want it to be portrait, we want it to be framed right. It's taken quite a while to get to a point where the formula works. But now, because it works... We'll just be like, right, one rehearsal a month that we have. We rehearse a lot more than that, but I mean, we choose one of them a month where we're like, right, let's do some covers. What should we do? Fuck it, we'll do a bit of Fontaine, bit of that.
I look forward to them. Because when we're rehearsing, it's like a bit of a... It's not a ball out.
Speak for your fucking self.
No, but it's a bit like...
You're playing the same song you played for the last...
Yeah,
but 6 years.
That's why rehearsing for that Academy gig was the most fun for me, because trying out these new transitions...
I'm talking about the covers.
Yeah, I know, but the rehearsing... never fucking bores me, because we're always trying to do that kind of shit.
Alright, whatever. Pretend we haven't got a fucking massive gig coming up. They are a bit boring. Like, you're like saying things, but the covers ones, I like them. Yeah. Because we never would say, I think, weeks before, I think we should do this.
We've never learned it.
What's the most outlandish sort of cover you've done, or you
Billie
think
Eilish
you could do?
Probably that Birds of a Feather one, because I actually just liked the tune for starters. I do think it's a nice tune. I like the melody in it, but I just started strumming the chords on the guitar. Yeah, and then Luis was just playing it on the piano, and I mean, it's not a hard song to play at all, and like it's pop music. Anything in pop music can translate to a guitar quite easily.
Of course, yeah.
But I remember when we did Gary by Blossoms, we hadn't learned that. We went in there. Were you not in that one? It might have been me, Ollie, and Luis.
Brilliant song, Gary.
But we went in and we were like, I had to fucking learn it there and then and do it, and we managed to get it done in about half an hour.
We've done that, so recently we did the Christmas ones, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh god,
so
John Lennon War is over. I had to take that down about 4 octaves.
What's cool about that is we had this room booked, and we were like, we haven't got any gigs like in the month after. So
yes,
we can't fucking rest. Right, well, we'll do a cover. Anyone got any ideas? And it's just like, I can come, I'm there, like thumbs up. It's like,
no one was giving any.
So then we get there, and it's like, right, what we doing? And I'd put before, like, everyone wear a Christmas jumper.
Yeah.
Like, just me and him, I'd Louise didn't have one.
I took a spare knowing that Louise
Yeah.
wouldn't fucking have one. Fucking have
So
one.
we turn up bloody Home Alone. They don't look like a family. Like they're all wearing different things.
Yeah.
And he was like, what should we do? And he was like, well, we've done what is it? Slade.
Merry Christmas,
We've done that
everybody.
before.
Yeah.
With acoustic pub gigs. We've done that before. We'll do that. All right.
And then War is over. They're the two
yeah.
best Christmas songs anyway, man.
Yeah. So we've done them two, and then it was like, right,
Is that a bit of a rogue shout for you?
It's okay. It's just.
I think they are for me, man. I really like War is
It's in
Over.
my anecdotes. Right, go on. You carry on. Anyway,
It's an outlandish statement,
let
but
me
it's
just
okay.
finish and then you can carry
Go
on
ahead,
with
go
your
ahead.
fucking stupid ideas. So we'd done them two, and then it was like, right, we've got like 3 hours. What should we do? So we recorded a few more in that time
Yeah.
that were just like ideas of like,
Off a whim, yeah.
I know this one. Do you know it? And there was I won't, in case anybody's watching who likes them. I was like, I don't know that song. Right, I'll listen to it. Okay, how'd you play it? Right, there you go. Right, sound. So we've done like 3 or 4 more that 2 out of the 3 of us or 4 of us didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
In the sense that does keep you on your toes.
It
Like,
does,
yeah,
yeah,
it's good.
yeah, it does.
But what I'm
It
saying is
keeps you
that's
match
what's
ready, doesn't
interesting
it?
about it is that I have since learned and listened to and enjoyed. I like that song now, which you would never get otherwise. And I think when we put them out, they look a bit, not scripted, staged. They look a bit staged, but they're not. Because it's like, I've shown Drew this song for the first time. Can you try and sing this?
Yeah.
All right. That's
More
what they
often
are.
than not, it's too high. Yeah. I have to take it down.
Would you ever go like completely off piece? So there's a couple lads, I can't remember the names, that are on TikTok. It's these 2 Scottish lads who just play acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And they're fucking brilliant. They'll make Scooter into an acoustic version, and it's
No, we're not
so
that good.
so good.
We're not that good.
Well, you know...
Would you ever give it a go? Like trying like an electric song.
Well, touching
like
on that,
dance.
DMA is doing Believe by Cher.
Yeah, of course.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
It's
well,
so
that's
it works.
that fight, that stumbling upon the,
There's a lot of dance music right, that
Yeah.
can work
That
on
can
acoustic guitar.
work. They
Scooter,
found one that fucking
yeah,
did.
Scooter. Just I've seen some songs and I'm like, it shouldn't work, but it does.
yeah.
Even if like heavy, like I know you're not into sort of like the metal and stuff, but like there's some sort of like Throne, for example. 5 Seconds of Summer did a acoustic version of it in Radio 1 Live Lounge, and it's. I don't think they're that good performing it, but the actual music of it, it's just great.
Right.
It's so good. Stripping it back and just making
Mentioning
it
the
a
Radio
good.
1 Live Lounge is kind of like, it's our take of that, because a lot of artists, when they do the Live Lounge stuff purposefully, whether they're meant to by management or they choose to, they do songs in a different genre.
They do,
don't
yeah.
Like Ben
when
Howard
it comes
did
to us
Hideaway
doing
by...
fucking live lounge, we'll smash it, mate.
I mean,
You
you're
know what I mean?
already
yeah.
in. You've got a pre-planned set
Yeah.
already.
Yeah,
No,
you
it's-
could throw us some curveballs, and I think anything we'd be able to give a decent go at. Do you know,
Yeah.
we're good enough musicians, and we've got our heads screwed on enough to figure them out. It's just as long as the people are liking them and sharing them, and it's doing well on socials, we'll keep doing them. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's interesting for us. That's what I love about them is if you go back through our sort of social media, we've done them on Twitter, for example.
Mostly, yeah, mostly
since
on Twitter.
like we started.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like we, one of the first things we ever posted on Twitter was me and him playing, Underneath the Sky by whatever it is.
I look like a fetus in that video, man. I'm so young.
Well,
You still look the same. Do you remember in one of them you had to borrow one of my jumpers? Because we had, like when you're filming on the same day, you try and change clothes.
You got it,
don't
haven't you? Yeah.
I
no,
remember because obviously
we do that now.
You wore a bigger size than me, but I remember you're sat near the camera and it's so Bately my jumper. Playing your guitar.
Rolled up on
it.
Yeah. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that this year though. Just something completely off piece.
Yeah, but we can. The thing is, right? So we.
The Lion King.
Let's
do
it.
Hamilton. I'm gonna do Hamilton.
If you do it, if one of you can do Hamilton, then
It won't be me, will it? You know, it.
I have to fucking sing it.
I'm going solo, giving it Hamilton. So, is it Birds of the Feather, Billie Eilish?
Yeah.
That wasn't. Oh, this will do really well.
Yeah.
It was like, this is a tune.
do you
Yeah.
put on,
Can
you,
we
do you
do
put
it?
on YouTube Shorts as well?
I don't think we do. No.
Why don't you?
Actually,
I understand that you.
There's a lot of shit that we
you do it
already-
on portrait, but like you've already got the video.
Yeah,
slap it on shorts.
we could. I mean, it's just a matter of it's another social to look after and run, and it is time consuming because when you're doing everything else and you're still trying to write and record and mix the songs and all that, and then you're sorting out your merch orders and you're trying to book a tour and all these things. It's like, have you uploaded that video to YouTube Shorts? No, I forgot. Do you know what I mean? It's easy done, man. Easy done.
Well, yeah.
As we start progressing though, and the team around us builds and less pressure is on us to do all these like little, keep these little things afloat, and we can focus in and hone in more on the writing, more on the recording, the things that artists should do, not necessarily just having to be like content creators. I think all of that will get easier. It'll become like second nature. But at the minute, we're spreading ourselves quite thin because we have to do everything at once.
So hard.
It's everything, everywhere, all at fucking
You've all got jobs.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? We've all got fucking...
Yeah, I'm a content creator. Nice. Yeah,
do you know what? One of Tony's mates who she met doing teaching, right? She thought I did content creation for a full time job.
Would you not devise this as content creation?
It's not a fucking job.
This is chin wagging, isn't it?
I speak to people who I call my mates for an hour every couple of times.
Hey, but he wouldn't turn down 10 grand for it though, would you?
Oh, fucking no, mate. I mean, that would imagine a goal being there, but I'm like, how did you? I have 500 odd subscribers on YouTube. How do you think I made money off that?
Yeah.
Very happy-go-lucky. Respect.
Yeah.
Also, I like how you were talking about sort of challenges in there, and we've alluded it to all like throughout the podcast of how you love to build a set. What big challenges do you find making a set list? Do you ever find that you're always thinking, that interlude's not working, or is there any like challenges that you face quite frequently with it?
It's the flow of it, I think. So for us, it's because we've got quite a lot of slower songs, so you don't want to put them together because it's a lull, and you don't want to put too many songs that aren't out together, and you don't want to put too many fast ones, too many whatever. You don't want to. It's about finding the balance, basically, of like you want a gig to be like that rather than like.
Of course,
So it's like, I think with Academy 2, we got that spot on. I think Band on the Wall we did pretty well, but we played a gig at Academy 3 about a year and a half ago, and we messed it up in my opinion, because it was too much of all the fast songs together, all the slow songs together, and that was useful.
Didn't work,
for us, wasn't it? Of like learning how to structure a set.
Who takes
properly.
the lead in that then? Is it Luis because he does?
Nah.
No. I'm joking. It's me and him, isn't it?
The biggest thing for me is the interludes and how the songs join together, and we've been speaking a lot off camera about my love for bands like Pink Floyd and Dave Gilmour and how they used to do just seamless flows, and like I'll be looking for songs that end on a D chord and another song that starts on a D chord, or the relative minor of a D major, and then you can go into it. Things that make musical sense to flow into. I'm constantly looking for those things, and Luis plays a huge part in that with his musical prowess and his ability and with his scoring and all that. So a lot of the interludes and how it links, some of them you have to force in a little bit more, some of them come really, really naturally. But when we're sort of deciding the order of the songs that goes in, it's more often than not me and you will come up with the set list.
Well, what normally happens is I'll think of this 20 tune order.
Yeah, you've got like a big melting pot.
There's 20 songs what I think are in order. What do you think?
Yeah. And it'll get fine tuned, bit here, bit there. But the most important thing to me is just trying to achieve that seamlessness and everything flowing. It has to fucking flow for me. Not necessarily, I'm not talking like Dark Side of the Moon, first song to last song, because you've got to talk, you've got to engage with the crowd.
Of course,
all of those things I respect, and you don't want to just.
But you want a 12 minutes to be 3 songs off two songs that just join.
And it's got to work musically, and like I've said before about like War on Drugs and all that kind of thing, the bands that I've seen that have done it so well, that have blown my mind, I am just constantly fucking pushing us to strive for that, and everyone plays their own little part in that.
Just get there.
And I think Academy 2 is the best we've done so far, but we're not there yet. I think we will get there. I think when we're going to get there is when we can do an hour and a half headline set everywhere across the country on a tour. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of our tours are normally, if we've got a big Manchester gig, we'll do an hour and a half. But if it's a headline tour in other cities, sometimes you only get an hour, and you got to drop certain songs. When you're in an arena band doing the same set every night, and it becomes fucking bulletproof, man.
You can thrive.
It's second nature. I don't have to think about changing my presets on my pedal. Honest to God, at Academy, I had that much shit to remember on my set list. I have to write down the things I've got to remember to say. Because because it's a one-off gig, there's just that much that comes into your brain.
100 mile an hour.
You forget shit, man.
You're gonna get a tech.
Well,
I don't need one.
What a tech in my ear, like, mention merch now. Fucking mention merch.
Speaking of sort of like things that are coming up, we were talking a little bit about your 2025 plans and sort of what's next for the band. So we're aiming towards an EP, aren't we, this year?
Aiming towards it's done.
It's done.
Yeah, it's done. So we've written, recorded, not mastered it. What's the one? Produced it.
Being mastered at the moment.
Is it three songs? Five songs.
Tunes.
Yeah.
Good. All new songs.
All new,
nice.
Yeah.
We have played a couple of them live once or twice.
Good.
Yeah.
People would have.
We played them at the Academy. Played two at the Academy. It's good. Now, I speak on behalf of both of us. Very, very proud of it. I think it's the best thing we've ever done.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna, with a bit of luck, knock us into the
next level.
Exactly.
Yeah. So are you going to go big on socials? Is that the plan for it, or?
I mean, if Mark can be asked.
Well, we're starting to develop a team around us, aren't we? That are going to help us achieve.
We are. More than we've ever had before. We've got more of a team around us. We've got more of a plan in place we've ever had before. The songs are better than they've ever been before. It sounds a bit corny, but it is true. I'm more confident in this release than I've ever been in anything else.
What it is it's Rosellas' writing and musicality, but it's been condensed and made more concise and intentional. The songs are shorter than we've done in the past. There are more sort of commercial elements in there. There's there are still the nice bits of effects and nice bits of psychedelia that we try and get in our music, but we've just condensed it all down in a sort of drive to make it have an impact in the industry and take us up to that next level. Because as much as me and you would like to sit here and write Shine on Your Crazy Diamond 15 times, it's not going to get you much radio play. It's not going to make you a living at the level we are at the moment. We know that we want to write those kind of songs later. You
ready for the next step?
That can be the sophomore album. That can, we will bide our time with that shit. But right now, it's about encapsulating Rosella's musical and lyrical ability, but in a condensed enough and consumable enough format that does well.
I think what's good about this EP, which I love about it, is you could take any of the songs 5 years ago, whatever, for us, 3-4 years ago, put them in the set and they'd work, right? That's what's good about it. So we played 2 of them at Academy 2. Mm-hmm. No one fucking noticed. It was all like, wee. No one noticed that they were different. That is, for me, what's good about
adaptable.
it. Yeah, so it's seamless. The change from what we have been doing, like, for example, Is It Any Wonder? Brilliant song, as we both agree. It's not commercial. It'll never get on the radio. I mean, what was it, Radio 5?
It's been on the radio.
No, but what was it?
It's been on Radio 6.
At 5 o'clock in the morning.
Been on XS Manchester.
At 5 o'clock in the morning. It don't count.
6 o'clock.
Anyway, whatever. No, but like, what I'm saying
is
is,
it Jim's show?
Yeah.
Great
Jim.
Respect Jim.
R.I.P.
Respect Jim.
He's not dead, he's just, just excessive dead.
No, but what I'm saying is, like...
It'd be like Radio X 90s.
Fuck's
sake.
As if they need any more.
They don't need more 90s. You've got Smooth, you've got Heart.
The worst thing about that show is the 90s. It was like, here's a new band, here's the drugs don't work. It's like, drugs don't work. We all know it. Anyway, like, what is good about this EP is you can take any song in our sort of timeline and they work. That's what I think is really good about it. And I think, as you sort of alluded to, the commercialism and the shortening of them was something that was, we did have to kind of learn how to do it, didn't we? Mm-hmm. So like we used to write like 6-7 minute long songs.
Looking at Born Under a Cloud, the first demo of that man was about 18 verses.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, mate, quality. Every verse was quality.
I had to shorten that.
But it was honest.
Yeah.
Right? And all these songs were so on, and we didn't know what we were doing. We're not musically trained, it's like, I think that's really cool. Oh, it's 20 minutes long. It's fine, put it out. But now we're at a point where we know that, you know, certain length of songs and certain sort of, you know, that thing of you have to hit the chorus in 45 seconds. Have you heard that? Right, that's what we're like trying to, you know, instill in each other.
It's progressing through, isn't it? You're progressing.
Well, it's progressing, but it's like commercialising it, but not in a way that's like, you know, as you were giving it.
It's still your sound.
Yeah.
It's still
so all of our songs in this EP, I'm immensely proud of them because they all sound like us. They're all our songs. You know, there's not a single one of them where I'm thinking, that's a bit. Like,
I don't want to play that live.
Yeah, all of them. I love all of them.
Fucking random pop writer has dropped a song in our lap. There you go. That's going to be a hit.
And the brilliant thing with them is they're all recognisable and they're all kind of like you can trace all 5 of them back. To earlier Rosellas songs.
And when's it due to come out? Is it spring, summer, autumn?
It'll be in spring.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
Spring. Maybe winter. No, it'll be in spring.
We're aiming for spring.
Ready
for festivals starting up next year.
Yeah, we'll end up touring around the release of it as well.
Yeah, nice. So are we aiming for a tour? Are you doing a nationwide tour? Or you just
we will be.
We'll just do Manchester, I think.
Just do all the gigs.
We'll just do Glossop in Manchester.
I'll promote it.
Tesco.
It was a big Tesco in the middle of Glossop. We best go there.
Oh, we'll do both. Warm up gig and then.
Well, no,
acoustic.
It makes sense to kind of intertwine things like that. You release an EP, you release singles, you tour around it, then bang, we go into festival season. And then the back half of the year, we will be doing another big Manchester gig, and we will probably have more releases ready to go then. Because the one thing that we have always been in this band, me and him, and Luis as of a little bit more recently, is we've just been such prolific writers. There are so many songs that are sat on the back burner, just ready to go. And we just need to pick through them and decide, like, right, we'll go with that. But also in saying that, we're constantly just striving to write more. It's always been the most important thing, just write.
Are you feeling a bit sort of like competitive with yourself now? Because obviously you've done a big gig. You've done it. You've done an hour and a half and it worked.
Yeah,
next one, are you looking like
it's bigger?
We have to get bigger now.
No, that comes though, then it.
It's bigger.
I know, but is there a little bit of you deep down thinking, we can eclipse what we've already done now?
Yeah, all right.
There has to be that.
So Academy 3, we had it Band on the Wall.
Yeah.
Band on the Wall, I did it for this one. We'll be fine. Next one will be fine because it's 4 or 5 X amount more people. 400 or 500 that was. Sort of 4
or 5 more bods.
Like you learn that every bigger gig you do just eclipses it. You don't have to do anything. So like Academy 2, I could have come out and mimed and it would have been better than the other gig. Do you
Probably
know what I mean?
would have been.
He's alright, he's shooting people in the crowd.
We'll try that next time, see how we get on. But it's like, I for the Band on the Wall to this one, I really was like, that's where the string quartet came from. It was like you really kind of beat yourself up about this has to be better.
Yeah.
And you think like, well, that can't go on forever. Do you know what I mean? And I remember coming out of Academy 2 and thinking, it's already better. We haven't played a note, but it's already better. Do you know what I mean? So the next one will be streets ahead because the songs will be better, because we'll be better live, because whatever. It'll just be better.
Yeah, it can come as second nature. Just
we that competitiveness with yourself have caught up with it already. I think anyway. You might disagree, but I think that already of like, of that improve. Every gig we've ever done, it's like improve. But now I think it will improve.
Right, that stage.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Perfect. Well, where can we find you on your socials?
Everywhere. Literally on every social, apart from YouTube Shorts.
YouTube Shorts.
Hey, well, you've already got YouTube accounts, so you're already halfway there.
Yeah.
Just upload it. Just upload it. Just copy and paste everything you did on TikTok or
and just put it up on there.
Yeah, and if it gets 10 views, might be 10 people who've never seen you before.
Yeah, definitely.
That's it.
I think the standard stuff really. Twitter's Rosellas Band, Instagram Rosellas.band.
You like the Twitter,
Facebook is probably Rosellas Band dot. You know what I mean? It's all like different fucking variations of Rosellas Band.
Yeah,
they'll all be Rosellas Band.
They'll all be linked in. Do you want to shout out your personals? Or you're not asked? No.
I'll give you my Snapchat if you want.
Yeah. We're not going to start doing that. Euan the Rosellas, Drew the Rosellas. Yeah.
That's weird. I mean, you know, anyone who's listening who does that, fair enough. But I think that's weird.
Yeah, keep your personals to your personal.
Yeah, I think that's weird.
Mine is just pictures of hikes I've been on, man. It's very boring.
I am from Glossop.
You thought on Instagram, my show's fucking all City games.
Yeah.
Football, it's just, I don't
Just
do
constant disappointment.
Yeah, it's me like that, crying after, yeah.
Yeah.
If you are listening on Spotify, please do give a 5-star review. Check out Rosellas. Make sure you follow them and check out their latest singles. Let's get Slow Dance down the stream charts.
Slow Dance, man.
Let's push everything else up. If you are on YouTube, please do like, comment and subscribe. Let me know what you think of Rosellas. Do you like them? Do you think they're shit? Let me know, please. That would be fantastic. And wait for the new EP and the big Manchester show that will happen this year.
Yes,
nice
it will be.
We shall see you in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching.
Appreciate it, man.
Up the Offbeat.